You don't want to have your kids?
I mean, like, when I was pregnant, I told him I didn't want him because I wanted to go party.
He's been arguing with the teachers. He's not been doing his homework. And this is completely new behavior. He was an A and a B student, and now his grades are also dropping.
It is my child, that is correct. But like I said, my job had me traveling, and I really didn't have the extra money.
Don't you think mothers are the precious creation of God? A mother carries a life inside her. She gives birth and raises the child. She pours all her love and affection into her child. A mother and kid tie each other in an eternal bondage. But how would you feel when you found out that a mother preferred having parties?
You don't want to have your kids?
I mean, like, when I was pregnant, I told him I didn't want him because I wanted to go party.
Over spending time with her autistic child. Watch this video till the end to know how this mother could do that with her children. Josue Sanchez, the father and the petitioner of this case, is unveiling a selfish mother's activities. You will be shocked how she ignored her children when they needed her.
It's been, I want to say, a month and a week already.
Okay.
Josue Sanchez informed the court that he performed all the responsibilities to his children. He fed them. He spent time with them. He has 2 children. One of them is an autistic child. Josue was in the medical sector. He supplied medical items to the hospital. He rescheduled his job to the night shift for his children's benefit.
Swapping complete schedules. I started doing overnight shift now, just so I can be there for my kids and everything. And she was supposed to be working for mornings, which she was, but she volunteered for more hours. And even when she's not at work, she's just never home.
He couldn't cook, but he learned for his children. In contrast, his wife Natalia didn't do anything for the kids. She bought fast food for them. She told them to eat food on their own.
But you don't sit there and spend quality time with your kids. You say, here's food, and leave.
She never accompanies them during eating time. She didn't like to spend time with them. Natalia worked as a nurse in the hospital. Other than work, she spent most of her time outside.
And I myself, sure, she can do what she wants, as long as she lets me know where she is for her own safety. But my kids always wonder where she's at. They're always for days at a time. She's never home. And we broke it off several weeks ago.
She didn't like to stay at home. Even she never told Josue or the children where she was. They felt worried about Natalia. On top of that, Josue said Natalia took medicines.
She's either on painkillers, or sometimes I'll find needles around and whatnot. So I know she works at a hospital, so she's got to get the drugs from there.
The matter of grief is that their children found injections around several times. Josue spends all the expenses of the children. He also paid their health insurance.
And only with my income alone, I can't really just do it with just me and my kids, especially that one has autism. I've always got to take her to the doctor and whatnot. And for these past 3 weeks, I have not seen or heard from her, even as so much as trying to help out with the kids or anything like that. So I can't get it. I'm surprised she's even here at court today.
Natalia never took part in kids' expenditures. When she was missing for a long time, Josue appealed to the court for child support from Natalia. It was getting tough for him to bear all expenses like food, clothes, health insurance, etc. Additionally, regular doctor's costs for the autistic child.
Okay, Mr. Sanchez.
When the judge moved to Natalia for her opinion, she said she was always busy with her work in the hospital. Saving lives is not important to Josue.
The tablet, like, why is that a problem?
Because
So you want to raise a child off of a tablet? You think that's
I mean,
okay?
they have educational stuff. I don't see what's wrong with it. Like, I need to go to sleep at some point in time.
The judge then interrupted and said Josue didn't mean that. Josue said she didn't contribute to her family.
I don't think that's what he's saying. He's saying that you're not contributing anything.
She didn't spend quality time with the kids. She left them with food and a tablet. She told them to eat food by watching the tablet.
Eat and watch the tablet. Like, why is that a problem?
Josue argued that it's not good for the child's health. They need both parents' affection and attention. But he was the only one who was always with kids. He always sits with the kids when they eat food. He helped them do homework. Natalia argued that he should do this since he is the dad.
As he should, he's a dad.
Then the judge opined that she should do that too, since she is the mother. The judge also said what audacity she had that said like that. Then Josue added that she always said she gave birth to the children. Now it's his responsibility to take care of them. What a shame for a mother. Just think. Hearing this, the judge also became astonished.
You know, if she doesn't want to take care of her kids, I really don't care at this point. I just want to make sure he gets some financial assistance.
I mean, but he makes enough money.
And I mean, you make enough money too. So again, do you have any questions about anything I just said?
She asked Natalia if she believed that. She replied, yes. Can you imagine? It's not finished here. The most shocking thing is that Natalia said she didn't want the child.
I wanted to go party, and like, he was just like, no, we got this, and like, how is it my fault? He wanted them, I didn't want them.
That's why kids' responsibility is only Josue's obligation. Finally, the judge ordered her to share child support. She also advised her to spend a lot of time with kids. You know, the horrible thing is, when the judge ordered her to pay child support,
So your monthly child support obligation, including the back pay, is $1,500.
she asked the judge to make the amount less, since she needed money for partying.
I mean, I just feel like it should be less. What am I gonna be left with to party with? Like, what am I gonna do?
The judge replied to her to earn extra. Natalia wanted to do partying instead of spending time with her kids or spending money for them. This will leave you speechless that Michelle preferred to pay for her condominium over spending for her autistic child. David Schaefer, the grandfather of the child, appealed to the court for child support from the mother, Mikkel Schaffer.
And I'm asking for some sort of relief or support because I'm retired from the military and on a fixed income.
Mr. David said he was an ex-military man. Now he is retired and on a fixed income. Michelle was married to his son. His son died and left a 3-year-old baby under his custody. His grandson is a special needs child. He has been living with his grandfather for the last 2 years. His mother, Michelle, didn't do anything for him, no financial support nor any other involvement. Mr. Schaefer paid all expenses for his grandchild, his living cost, health insurance expenses, daycare bill, everything. In addition, his counseling fees, since his grandson was an autistic child.
Does he have to, you have to pay for like any medical expenses?
He needs special counseling, and of course he has regular doctor visits.
When the judge asked Michelle about this, she replied she was a travel agent. She didn't have time to take care of her child.
It is my child, that is correct. But like I said, my job had me traveling and I really didn't have the extra money.
Most shockingly, when the judge asked why she hadn't provided any child support to Mr. Schaefer by this time, she replied she bought a new condo, so she didn't have money for the child. The judge stated, it's your child and your responsibility to provide everything for him. Still, the lady argued with the judge that she didn't have enough money. However, she wanted to live nicely in a condo. She traveled regularly everywhere.
I have no idea what health insurance is for the child.
Even she didn't mention the child as my child, not for a single time. Instead, she said the child all the time. How selfish a mother could be. Finally, the court ordered the mother to pay child support to the grandfather, David Schaefer.
So with that calculation, it comes out to $14,204.16 to be paid monthly at an amount of $200. That makes your total child support obligation.
When the judge asked Mr. Schaefer whether he wanted back the health insurance expenses for the last 2 years, he replied, no, I mean, it's all in the past.
Now, I don't have anything against my former daughter-in-law. I mean, she was married to my son.
He also said, I don't have anything against my former daughter-in-law. I just need some relief and support. Don't go anywhere. Be ready to be stunned. Here is a father who voluntarily paid $1,000 per month to the mother for his kids. He wasn't obligated under the court order. Yet, the mother demanded more money from his ex-husband. She needed money for her beautification purposes. Just think once. In this case, the mother brought the father and her ex-husband to the court, demanding more money for child support.
We're here today because I know he's a truck driver. He's over the road all the time. But like I said, I need more money for my children. They're in activities, private school, and I'm not jealous of him or anything like that. That's what he said before, but I'm not.
Whereas the father had already been paying $1,000 per month for the kids. He also paid health insurance expenses for $309 per month for the children. However, child custody was split among both parents.
He has the kids Sunday through Wednesday.
That's split.
He kept the children from Sunday to Wednesday. This mother is a teacher. She also made a good amount of money every month, since the father made more money than her.
Because he makes more. He makes more than I do.
She demanded more from him for the children on that ground. But you won't believe what happened next. After hearing both sides' logic, the court ordered the sharing of child support by both parents. The father will pay $500 and the mother will pay $500 per month.
Fair.
That is fair.
That's not fair.
Well, it is fair today.
Maybe that selfish mother got a lesson. What will you say about this lazy mother? She didn't want to do any job. That's why she demanded money from her ex-husband as child support. The father, Mr. Bubba, had 1 week of work and 1 week off. On his off work, he kept his child to him. He also paid health insurance for the child. Even after that, the mother took the father before court, demanding child support. After hearing everything, the judge denied her request for child support. Instead, the court ordered the parents to share the health insurance expenses among them.
He's been arguing with the teachers. He's not been doing his homework. And this is completely new behavior. He was an A and a B student, and now his grades are also dropping.
How would you feel when you heard a mother say that her 6-month-old baby boy was a mistake of hers and left the newborn baby to their grandparents on this ground? Watch this story to witness the most selfish mother ever. The daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Paul left her 6-month-old baby boy to them immediately after he was born. She didn't do anything for her newborn child, so Mr. and Mrs. Paul brought her before the court. She said that her parents told her they would always be there for her in the baby shower program. That's why it's their responsibility to take care of the child now. How could it be related? Then she started an argument on this ground. She made different excuses not to take care of the baby. Since she was a student, she didn't have much time for the baby. She earned a good amount, but didn't pay any of the child's expenses. Her parents paid everything for their grandchild, even though they didn't know how much money she made a month.
I make about $48,000.
What?
They became astonished when she said she earned $48,000 a year, whereas she left her child in their custody without paying anything for the child. The judge asked her why your parents didn't know how much you earned. She replied she didn't feel like telling them since the check came in her name. Seeing that, the judge asked the parents, what type of relation among you?
What is this about? What type of relationship do you all have?
The parents became so frustrated. They replied, we tried to raise her as a good person.
Well, you started it, but I'm going to continue it from here, okay? All right.
I believe
Mr.
she
and
don't
Mrs.
have
Paul.
any business since we have her child
Okay.
living with us.
How old is this child?
What is he, 6 months now?
6 months.
It seems we couldn't. How painful a situation for parents. Finally, the court ordered the mother to pay monthly child care support to her parent for their grandchild. How a mother could be so rude. Christy left her 2 kids to her parents and never paid anything for them. This mother hasn't any concerns either for her children or her parents. How insensitive was she?
And does what she wants to and doesn't leave any money for food or for any kind of things that the kids need. So I need some help financially because
Mr. Harrell. Paul was a retired government service holder. His daughter Christy dropped off her kids to them every day. He took her children in, but the mother Christy didn't pay for anything that the kids needed. Harrell paid for everything from his pocket. Since Mr. Harrell was a retired person, it became a burden to him. So he requested the court for child support from his daughter Christy. Christy made $8,400 a year, even though she hadn't spent anything for her children. Rather, she expected her father would do everything for them. She also received government food assistance. She hasn't shared that with her father too. On hearing everything, the court ordered Christy to pay $1,873 monthly to his father. What are you thinking about these selfish mothers? You can share your experience by commenting below. We can finish with the hope that there are good people around too. We are responsible for our mistakes. Our kids are not the mistakes. Every child deserves a peaceful, happy life.